I'm with Senator Gary Farmer of Broward County, and Senator Farmer has filed the very first bill in regards to smoking of cannabis in compliance with the governor, who has asked for legislation in order to help out with the smoking ban. Now, you had actually filed a bill last year.
Yes.
Is this different, or is it similar to the bill you filed last year?
It's very similar. I think there might be some slight changes. I know we put some language in this bill to deal with caregivers. There's some dispute out there about caregivers being able to administer even the oils or the approved forms of medicinal marijuana. But it is very, very similar to last year's bill. And the point and the goal of the bill is quite simple. Honor and implement the will of 71% of Floridians who clearly voted to not only allow medicinal marijuana, but allow people to smoke medicinal marijuana if that's the mode of delivery that's most effective to them.
How does this bill work as far as removing the ban on smokable cannabis?
Well, it just simply amends the implementing statute that we passed 2 years ago to make clear that smoking of marijuana is an accepted form of delivery. We amend the definition of delivery device, which did not include instruments or things used for smoking of marijuana. And it's very simple. In legislative parlance around here, you could call it a glitch bill. To correct a glitch in our original implementing legislation.
All right, so it allows the use of smokable. Now, does it say that it has to be in the form of a canister that's sealed? It can only be used in a vaping device, or can it be sold in bulk and allowed to be doled out in grams, or how can it be distributed?
We don't speak to that. We simply take the broad position that smoking of marijuana will be allowed, and that certain devices will be allowed to smoke it. We believe that the Department of Health will then pass the detailed regulations that will allow for that, but it's clear that we will be directing them to allow for a smokable form of medical marijuana.
So basically, once this bill passes, it'll be up to the Department of Health to create the rules and regulations to allow it at that point in time.
There will be some rules and regs that are going to be needed, yeah, yes.
Okay, and it also talks about edibles, is that correct?
Yes.
How does it deal with edibles as well?
Well, I mean, I think the existing language for edibles was a little bit restrictive, and I think our original legislation sought to not make them like candies because of the belief that that will somehow lead to children ingesting this form of medicine. And I think it was an overly restrictive approach that we took, and we're just trying to tweak that a little bit to, again, the goal here is laws that recognize the fact that no two patients are alike, that different forms of medical marijuana delivered in different ways can be more effective for one patient than the other. And so we want to provide the greatest options so that people get the relief that they need.
How does it address situations in regards to caregivers?
It's a very, if I remember correctly, it's just a 3 or 4 word change to existing law. I think, and frankly, it might be just 2. I think we just might add "or caregiver" to make clear that somebody who is providing care to a patient, for example, think of a patient with Parkinson's disease or with ALS, or these are diseases that affect your muscle control. Those people need help from a caregiver to administer marijuana and medical marijuana. And so we want to make it clear that will be the case. And frankly, it's our hope that by that clarification, perhaps it will help in the fight against third-party payers who are not, at this point in time, compensating caregivers for administering this legal form of medication.
How has your bill been received so far by Senate leadership?
I spoke with Senate President Galvano just yesterday, and he was very receptive. He's made some great public comments already in reaction to Governor DeSantis' directive that we take action. And I'm very hopeful, and I told President Galvano that I'd work with him if we need to tweak some of the language or whatnot, that I would certainly be willing to work with him, and it's my hope that he will be fully on board, and that this bill will get swift consideration here in the Senate.
And of course, like any bill, you have to have a House sponsor as well, a House bill. Has there been anybody in the House who's also considered having a House version?
Several people are interested. I'm speaking with some folks over there and trying to figure out who would be the most effective person to carry the bill.
Oh, good, because obviously the governor wants to see this done during the first couple weeks of session, so we have to have it getting started at the beginning, so we can go through committee, go through discussion, and hopefully tweak it to the point where everybody's ready to vote on it from the get-go at the very beginning. And I am very glad to see that you are on top of things.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a cause I believe in. The timing was just perfect for us. We were working on the bill, and then the governor made his announcement, and we filed the bill right away, and we're ready to go. And I think with President Galvano's help and leadership, we are going to get this done pretty quickly.
All right, thank you very much for your leadership on this issue. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Senator Gary Farmer from Broward County.